So we have God smiting Israel with bees. I love it. I myself am a friend of the bee nation, and so I think bees are amazing. They're wonderful little creatures, highly intelligent, and they are doing God's work. I hope most of those Israelis, especially the ones running the country, are allergic to bees. Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Queendom. I am your host, Queen Midas. I hope everyone's been doing well. I know it's been a while. It's been maybe a week or two since I did a video. I've been so busy just trying to manage life and just do the regulars that I just haven't had the energy to get on here and show my face. I wish I was one of those people who like to be in front of the camera, but I'm not. I'm kind of shy. But I so thank you for being here with me and encouraging me and holding my hand, because I need that sometimes. What do we think about this whole thing going on in season 2 of the White House Apprentice? I know that most people hate the Trumpkin. A lot of his followers are beginning to have a nasty taste in their mouth about him. He's showing more and more signs of insanity every day, and the most recent sign of insanity was him threatening China with the dollar once again. I mean, that's how we got here in this space in the first place. The U.S. government constantly harassing, terrorizing, and assaulting and weaponizing the dollar, assaulting these countries by weaponizing the dollar. Every time you turn around, if you don't do what they say, they're going to freeze your bank account, or they're going to take your money, or they're going to embezzle it, or they're going to, what's the word? Not embezzle. No. Extort you at every turn. I mean, they do it to us all the time. They do it to American citizens all the time. If you have had any run-ins with the police and you had to pay a ticket or go to court or something, or God forbid you got picked up and had to go to jail, you had to pay an extortion fee. You had to pay a ransom to get out. That's just the way that they do things here in their so-called democracy. And we've learned to live with it so well that we excuse their behavior and we allow them to treat us this way. Maybe one day it will stop. Not anytime soon, but one day. They're really going to piss China off. I also see that they tried to talk tough about the Hormuz Straits. You can't block something that's already blocked. Iran is doing a great job at disallowing people who don't want to pay to come through. So I don't know what the U.S. Military is doing there, especially since every ship that wanted to go through the strait this past week went through without a hitch and without the U.S. getting in the way. So they're just wasting our tax dollars, and they're putting on some kind of show, a front for us to make these people here in this country think that they're strong and big and tough and powerful. And they're not. They're weak and they're stupid, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just causing more chaos and trouble in the world. I don't know how this is going to end, but I'm sure it's not going to end with American citizens being able to afford a loaf of bread. That's for sure. The prices of things are going through the roof. Every time you go to the store, you get a little bit more depressed. Every time you have to buy a necessity, you feel like just chewing off your hand because there's no money and there's no way to recoup anything that's lost these days. I feel sorry for lots of people out there. We're all in big trouble. We're all in dire straits. But I feel especially sorry for people out there who have even less. There are people out there who either they don't have the the resources or the education, or even worse, they don't have the support of their friends and family, or if they even have friends or family. And that makes it even that much worse when you're trying to accomplish a goal or trying to get somewhere in life. You can't do anything in this world by yourself. You have to have others. And if you don't have others to help you, you're going to run in circles a long time before you get any traction. I know. I have me, myself, and I. I have met some friends over the years, acquaintances, and crazy enough, some of my best friends and biggest supporters are some of my clients that I have known for several years. And it's crazy because you find your people in all walks of your life. You find them in different ways, and they come to you manifested in different ways and personalities. And it's truly amazing when you encounter people like that, and when you start to build your crew or your tribe or whatever you want to call it. It starts off small, and before you know it, there's a lot of people that are on the same page as you, and it feels really good. It makes you hopeful. So make sure that you remain hopeful, especially when you're most alone, because that's when the people that you need most show up. Anyway, let's move on to something else that I was reading and I researched, and it made me laugh because a lot of people out there are bitching and crying and complaining about one of the conditions of Iran and this whole peace deal. There's a whole lot of talk about the uranium. Oh, they can't have enriched uranium. Oh, they're trying to build a nuclear bomb. Well, if anybody out there has any memory at all, when President Obama, my computer just turned on. Guess that was a key word. President Obama. Okay. Well, when President Obama was in office, he brokered a peace treaty with Iran. Not really a peace treaty, but it was conditions to work on so that everybody could feel more comfortable. And one of the conditions, and it was really crazy because Iran wanted this and Russia offered. Iran did not want to store their enriched uranium. Iran didn't want it on their property. They didn't want it in their country. They don't want it on their land. They didn't want to be responsible for it. And so Russia offered to take the enriched uranium off their hands. Hey, give us the uranium, we'll store it for you, don't worry about it. So when President Obama brokered this treaty, that was already baked in because the people already in it wanted this. It just happened to work in his favor. The Iranians never wanted to have enriched uranium because they had no endeavor to create a nuclear bomb. The entire world knows how dangerous it is to have these things, and the entire world agrees that they shouldn't be. But since the U.S. created them and used them on another country and many peoples, the whole world is even more repelled by having these things. And many countries simply don't want to be bothered with that. And that was Iran's thing. They weren't concerned about building those kinds of things. They wanted to build nuclear power plants so that they could bring their people and their country and their region into the 21st century, so that they could have better power and the ability to achieve technological goals and aspirations, so that they could have a better standard of living for them and their people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So for anybody, especially these colonizing, afraid of the sun, vampiric blood drinking people out there that just that they can't stand to hear the truth, and they don't remember what anybody said yesterday. Iran never wanted that. They always only were honest and open. I'm not saying they're the best people in the world. They're not the greatest people on earth. I can't find any ethnic group that is, honestly, and no nation that is. The United States, though, has no moral high ground. The United States is in a cavern. They're not even in a ditch when it comes to morality. The U.S. cannot preach to anybody on this earth about anything moral because they have committed the most egregious acts on earth ever, and they continue to refine the way that they torture and genocide and harm everyone on this planet. So I'm not saying that Iran is a country full of great people. I'm simply saying that there are people who mind their business, and there are people who are trying to do what's best for them and the way that they see life and the way that they want to live, and we have no business interfering. And if those people want nuclear power so that they can run their TVs and run their lights and they can build new technological advances, they have some of the brightest minds coming out of that country. Almost everybody in government has a PhD. So these people are highly intelligent and they are educated and they have ideas and they have thoughts. And no one has the right to stop them and stifle their growth. Just like many other parts of the world where the colonizer has decided that they are the only ones that are going to bring civilization and technology to the world. And that simply is inappropriate, unfair, unethical, immoral, and illogical. So quit thinking that this was something that the Trumpkin won on them, because he did not. This was already something that the Iranians wanted. This is something that Russia was already doing. And this is something that was already in place before he broke that treaty, which the United States is also notorious for breaking every single treaty they've ever written with anybody on God's green earth. So, right, again, the U.S. has no moral high ground in any position ever. They've got the child predator in office. They have other pedophiles and monsters and wife beaters and God only knows what else, drug addicts and alcoholics. I mean, hell, RFK Jr. talked about snorting coke off of public toilet seats. That disgusting bastard. So they can't speak. They can't talk about anybody. The only thing that they can do is hold their heads in shame. And the rest of us need to continue to shame them. I'm not going to make excuses for the devil, and I'm not going to make excuses or hold my tongue for any of these people out here. I like shaming the devil. I like telling everybody in the supermarket that that bitch didn't wash her hands after she came out of there taking a long shit. I'll do it. So more people need to speak up. We need to talk louder. We need to get in the faces of evil and wicked and ugly and bad and wrong. And we need to correct it right on the spot. And if it can't be corrected, it needs to be shamed into its grave, because there's no reason why we should still be being tortured by this administration or this government, for that matter, because the government is corrupt. The entire government needs to go. And if you don't like this, that's too bad, because it's true. Your Constitution is racist. Your Declaration of Independence is racist. Your Bill of Rights is racist. And if you had the intellect to read it and to decipher what it's saying, understand it, you too would understand that, and you would want those pieces of paper burnt up and written anew with everyone in mind. We all deserve to have a say in the government and how it's run and how it's crafted. We don't need to. You tell us all the time to forget about what happened during slavery. It happened so many years ago. Well, fuck that Constitution and your old laws and all that shit that y'all talked about, and your Civil War and all that shit, and your stupid 250-year memorial of the country. That shit is old news. It's old. Why are you dwelling on it? Forget about it. Let's start anew. We need a new country. We need a new government. We need a government in a country where all voices are heard and all are respected and all have equity. To hate diversity, equity, and inclusion is crazy. To say that those are bad things is madness. To say that being woke is wrong. Why would you want people to be asleep? You sound like Joe Biden and the Fed chairman years ago during COVID, and not only the Fed chairman, who was that? Mitch McConnell and the rest of those idiots in our so-called lawmakers, when they wanted to tell us that saving money was wrong. I thought that saving and being responsible fiscally was the right thing to do. I thought that was the adult thing to do. I thought that was the American thing to do. But I guess we were wrong, because all you wanted us to do was spend and go into debt. Just like now you want us to praise this monster that's in office and all the people who are still in government and running the government and have not been our representation for quite some time. And I stand on what I said. Each and every one of us should not have filed our federal taxes this year. Had we not filed our federal taxes this year en masse, we would have been able to stranglehold the government and stop them from doing what they're doing and listen to our demands. But now they know that they can run roughshod over us at any time they want, and they don't have to represent us. And yes, we have been being taxed for several years now without any representation. And if that doesn't say that this country has fallen and the government is ended, nothing else does. So I'm done with my rant. I'm off my soapbox, and I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my evening. Thank you all for joining me here. Remember, get with your friends, get with your family, talk to those that you care about, talk to those that you respect and appreciate, and find solutions to your everyday problems. Good night.